Good evening and a very warm welcome to First Issues. Last week we began our in-depth study of vacation companies to let you, the viewer, make up your mind as to whether they are products that you could find of value during travel seasons such as the one we're in. Consumer advocate Richard Harriman is but one example of the many activists in the region asking questions about companies of this nature. And he brings in discount travel company Hotel Express International into the conversation.
There's been a number of issues with the way certain companies operate. We've had, over the years, dozens of complaints about, for instance, Hotel Express International, South African company. They offered a discount scheme. And what happens is they phone you in the evening, they cold call you, and one of their salespeople tries to sell you membership of the scheme. Now, this is big business. It happens an awful lot, but we've heard of probably a few dozen times when someone in Botswana has received this call, and they perhaps like the idea, it's being sold well, and then the salesperson on the phone says, just give me your debit card number or your credit card number, and I'll check to see if you're eligible to join. Or sometimes they say, give me your details and I'll check to see if you're eligible for Gold Club or Platinum Club, whatever they call it, membership. And even though these smart people, smart, educated, professional people know better, in order to find out if they're eligible, they hand over their debit card details or their credit card details. And guess what? They get charged. Even though sometimes they've asked specifically, you're not going to charge me, are you? No, 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 we're just checking if you're eligible. And we've had a number of cases where people then get charged, and then they have an almighty battle to get their money back. They've come through to us on a number of occasions. That's helped. They've been refunded. Now, I'm not suggesting that this company does that deliberately. I think what's happening is their salespeople are getting out of hand. They're going too far, because I assume they're paid on commission.
Yes.
They get a percentage, and then maybe not being as scrupulous as they should be in following the rules. So I don't blame Hotel Express International for what's happening, but I do criticise them for stopping it.
We thought it pertinent, as we are so often inclined to do on this program, to give the company in question the opportunity to address these concerns, and found that, as with last week's discussion, there were both satisfied and displeased Hotel Express customers. What could be the reasons then for the differing customer experiences? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome back to First Issues, as the manager of Hotel Express International, Marvelous Changare, and some of his clients share with us whether the skepticism shared by some consumer advocates over their product is warranted or not. The first charge against companies such as this is that they do not offer value for money. Consumer watchdog Botswana has suggested that it is counterintuitive to pay for a discount, and that travel schemes often provide their clients with a limited selection of hotels and services. What does Hotel Express International in particular offer its clients?
Hotel Express International is a name which speaks for itself. It is international in a sense that it helps clients when they have the Hotel Express cards or they are members, they get discounts when they book accommodation wherever they want to go, and wherever they Hotel Express has got an arrangement with a particular hotel or lodge. That's the kind of arrangement that we have with our consumers.
Why pay to get a discount? And exactly how much money are we talking about for these deals on offer?
I don't know how far true that it is to say that there are discounts that are available to everybody. The discounts that may be available to everybody is most probably when you talk about holiday times, Christmas times, etc. Yes, hotels do offer those kind of discounts that one may have. But when you are talking about every other time a person goes outside his own country or within his own country, you would find that there is no discounts that may be available. But because one is privileged to have a Hotel Express card, then they may use that card to be able to salvage that situation and get a discount. And I'm sure it is good. Everyone, even if you go to any shop, anywhere, when you buy, you always ask for a discount. And this is no different. Looking at accommodation, if you have a discount for the accommodation that you have, you can use the balance for whatever one wants to use it for. So Hotel Express card is an international, kind of an organization throughout the world, if I may say. I talked slightly about in Botswana, but you'll find that in South Africa there are a number of hotels that are there. We got them in England. We got them in Australia. We got them, in fact, in most countries of the world. If a person was to go there and they came to us here and they asked for us to make a booking, we would make a booking for them, wherever they are going, where we have got Hotel Express arrangements.
Our resident consumer protection activists advised viewers last week to rather seek out discounts freely available to anyone than sign up for a travel scheme membership. He suggested websites such as Bid to Stay, travel agent discounts, and membership with well-known hotel chains as better options.
Personally, I mean, my experience has been that the chain that includes the Courtyard, Town Lodge, Road Lodge, City Lodge chain in South Africa, all those hotels, they have bidtostay.co.za, bid to a number, where you bid what you want to pay. And it's only at the weekends when the hotels are typically empty. That can save you a huge amount of money off the rack rate. It's also for free. You can register with certain hotel chains on their website. You just put your email address in, and every month or so they send you special offers and discounts. Some years ago, Kate, it was my birthday, and she was on this mailing list, and she found us a special offer. It was in July, so it's the middle of winter, when in Cape Town, no one wants to go to Cape Town in July because it's freezing cold and it's windy, but it was my birthday. We ended up getting something like an 80% reduction on the room rate in a really expensive hotel. And we love a bargain. So I had my birthday celebration in a fantastic hotel, paying virtually nothing for the room. Because again, they just wanted people in the hotel, because they're paying the staff anyway. They may as well have people in the hotel buying breakfast and buying drinks and having lunch. Register on the websites, don't pay any money. If you're staying in that chain, go to bidtostay.co.za, and there's all sorts of opportunities like that. Just Google these things, or better, just as well, go and talk to a travel agent. Find a travel agent you trust, and they'll have a database full of special offers. It's often last-minute things. You go into a travel agent, you'll see last-minute deals of flights to all sorts of exotic places at significantly lower prices than the norm. And it's just shop around, and you can find all sorts of bargains for travel. Cheap hotels, cheap flights, cheap car hire, all these things, and you don't have to pay money to get these discounts or these special deals. It's just shop around, do some Googling, or talk to a really trustworthy travel agent. Be very careful with travel agents. The vast majority of them are totally respectable, but we've had dealings with a couple who are now out of business in Botswana who were very iffy. So talk to friends and relatives who've used travel agents, who they recommend. But go talk to a really good travel agent, and they love finding you a good deal, because they make more money because you'll come back again and you'll tell everyone. They're not going to sell you something too expensive. So shop around and talk to a decent travel agent.
But how does our guest tonight think these alternatives compare with his product?
The Sun International card deals with the Sun hotels only. Any hotel outside that is not catered for. The Business Club card deals with the business club hotels only. No other lodges that are outside that. Now, the Hotel Express card deals with a number of hotels and lodges that we have negotiated for. They also get discounts when you go to even the Sun International hotels. When you go to the Brand Palm hotels, that group, you still get discount using the Hotel Express card. So I guess the card actually supersedes most of the cards because it is broad-based, unlike concentrating on particular types of hotels.
McDonald Motsele is a happy Hotel Express client who gladly shared with us his experiences with the company.
Experience has been great. I mean, 50% discounts on 5-star hotels anywhere in South Africa. I'm loving it. I've enjoyed that for a while, you know. I get to stay in their hotels at half the price. I don't even go through the hassle of doing arrangements. I just make one call to the office and tell. I mean, a call is even when a call is a bit too much. I just send an email and they'll send me everything. All I just need to do is get there.
Our guests have so far made a very convincing argument as to the value and legitimacy of Hotel Express International. When we return, however, we address the issues of the misuse of customers' credit card details and the use of overly aggressive marketing tactics, bringing in a fourth voice into the conversation. Welcome back to the show as we continue to study the workings of yet another travel scheme as encouraged by consumer protection concerns. Before the break, manager Marvelous Shangare and member McDonald Motsele made a strong case as to the credibility and value of the company's services. We now address the question of the numerous complaints as to customers being harassed via phone into giving out their credit card details by salespeople from this company, and reports of this information being misused to perform unauthorized withdrawals from client accounts. Khomosa Mapane is one of the consumers we discovered who had a negative experience with Hotel Express.
I think I got a call around 5 in the afternoon, and I thought it was strange. It was a foreign number, South African number, and I thought it was strange that a professional call was coming after 5 from a foreign number. But as the conversation got along, these people are telling me that I'm a referral. I've been referred to them by somebody who knows me. They really think I would benefit somehow from whatever services it is that they had to offer. And I found that bothersome, because they're not telling me who referred me to them. I think it's very important. If I'm a referral, you need to tell me who referred you to me. And I also thought they were too aggressive for an initial call, because as the conversation went on, they're too pushy to tell me to give them my credit card details. I said I don't have a credit card detail. I say, okay, if you've got a Visa card, as long as it's a Visa card, just give us the last, I can't remember if it was the last 4 numbers of my card or the last 8, but they were particular about the numbers that they wanted from my card. First, I haven't said I want the service. I have not been given time to think about the service, but already you want to close the deal. So it felt like it's bullying for me. And it's an invasion of my privacy. You're calling me after hours, you're bullying me into a deal, and I'm supposed to be excited about it. I don't know, I just didn't like the whole experience.
Did Khomosa herself have any preconceptions about the company, having maybe heard others tell of similar experiences to hers? And what recourse did she take after going through it herself?
It was my first encounter with them. I've never had anyone who's had an experience with them. It's only after when I started mentioning it to people, that's when they started saying, hey, it has happened to me. First, I'm always very wary about giving my credit card details over the phone to people I don't know. So just the fact that I didn't give my information to them, I just left it at that.
What does the manager of Hotel Express International Botswana have to say about these reports of overly pushy and invasive marketing?
Aggressive marketing, isn't that better? It might be the best. If you're in business and you're looking to increase and to expand your territory, you naturally become aggressive. However, I'm of a different opinion, especially when dealing with people locally here in Botswana. Whilst Hotel International the head office in South Africa, are aggressively marketing in our territory because they have made it non-exclusive. It's now inclusive. We can market in South Africa from here, any other country in the SADC region. So they can also market in any of the countries. But because they have got our database, and because they also market so aggressively and they get as much information about our people here, including where they work and all their information, they continue doing so.
What does McDonald think, knowing now that other consumers are treated in this manner?
Well, that's marketing. I mean, if somebody's selling you a product and you keep saying to them, I'll come back to you, I'll come back to you, of course they're going to keep making the phone calls. But if you're up straight with them and say, not this one, I'll pass, oh, I'm still thinking about it, can you call me in a month? I think they'll respect that.
Mr. Shangare apportions the cases of malpractice to salespeople across the border. But as a franchisor, what agreements has he reached with the head office to protect the reputation of his company and Botswana consumers as a result?
The people here in Botswana must understand we have an office here. They must deal with us more than they deal with people in South Africa, because we are here at their disposal to make sure that whenever there is a need in terms of their traveling arrangements, accommodation, we will do that for them. And if there is any query pertaining these issues, for instance, where they are being phoned and they are our members, and they come here, we will be able to tackle the matter and deal with the people in South Africa and tell them to stop it. But when we do not know, and people are being harassed out there, and we don't know who they are, it becomes also very difficult for us to be able to handle the situation. But rather, they should be able to come to us if there is any matter that they have. There is nothing wrong in them being phoned by South Africa. But it also goes even worse because they have been phoned. Then they deal with the people in South Africa directly. It compounds the situation in that when they have gone to South Africa and there are issues now that need to be solved, the South African people are not readily available to handle that situation. Whereas if they dealt with us here and there is a matter that needs attention, we will handle the matter and we will deal with it.
How open would our disillusioned client Khomotso be to the solution proposed by the company manager of dealing with the local arm of Hotel Express International instead of his South African counterparts?
Okay, I find it a bit laughable. He is part of Hotel Express and he's throwing his counterparts under the bus. Right there, for me, it's a no-no. I mean, I will never be open to such a relationship. It's like if I've got colleagues, I'm based in Botswana, they're based wherever, and I throw them under the bus. What does that say about our business? Because it's an entity. Just because I don't have an experience with you, I have an experience with you, but from a different country. Just because I can't point to an example with you, but I can point an example with your business from a different country, I would still not do business with you until you do something to gain my loyalty and my trust. Right now, that you're throwing people under the bus says to me, I should not even trust you. It says to me, you should apologize. We are sorry for being aggressive. We are aware of the issues that have come up. We're trying to get our house in order. That is why we've got a local office, because we're trying to get our business in order. And don't talk about what other people are doing, because you're not gaining anything from me. You're still Hotel Express, same brush.
We will once again have to leave it to you to formulate your own verdict, having heard the different views on this offering. Can consumers trust the company with flaws from its point of contact to confusion in top management? Or is this a great product suffering as a result of a few mistakes? Our guests share their final thoughts.
If you travel a lot, it's worth it. But if you don't, just keep away from it. It's not worth it.
People are going for Christmas. More than half the time we have not even planned for Christmas, but we are excited about these specials, people telling us that if you get theirs, then you can come to our hotel for X amount less. I just think you need to be very careful about it. You need to do your own research before you jump into anything. If you think the deal is too good to be true, it probably is.
I would like to urge all the people here, especially those that have gone to South Africa directly via the internet and to obtain the business cards or the Hotel Express cards, to come back home. Come directly to us. And when you do so, believe you me, you will find the atmosphere changes, even for your benefit, rather than I'm only a card holder for the Hotel Express, like anybody else would say.
It is now time for the stock market review, courtesy of the Botswana Stock Exchange.
Good evening. Let's have a look at the market performance for this past week. We are going to start with the domestic company index, which has decreased by 0.14%, while the foreign company index has decreased by 0.01%. The total turnover for this past week was 25.7 million pula, meaning that on average, 5.1 million pula worth of shares was traded on a daily basis. The total number of shares traded for this past week was 17 million shares. We now look at the 2013-2014 year-to-date market performance comparison. The domestic company index had increased by 17.9% in 2013 and it has increased by 5.2% in 2014. The foreign company index had decreased by 1.1% in 2013 year-to-date and it has decreased by 0.3% in 2014 year-to-date. The total turnover in 2013 was at 2.2 billion pula and it stands at 2.1 billion pula in 2014. The average daily turnover in 2013 year-to-date was at 9.4 million pula and it stands at 9.9 million pula in 2014. The total number of shares traded in 2013 year-to-date was at 671 million and it stands at 555 million shares in 2014. We now have a look at the ETF performance for this past week. The Beta Beta had decreased by 35 thebe during the week to close trade at 41 plus 70 thebe, while the new gold and the new plat ETFs had no change, closing at 111 plus 20 thebe and 105 plus 10 thebe respectively. That's all we had for you from Botswana Stock Exchange. I am Amukhala Ntemba.
Feel free to join in the conversation and share your own conclusions with us and other First Issues viewers on any of our 3 social media platform accounts. Until next week and another issue of interest, I, Nameto, the team behind First Issues and our sponsors, First National Bank, wish you a good night and pleasant viewing.